Hello and welcome back to the End Up Weather video. Today we are going to be continuing our coverage on this potential blockbuster nor'easter, which will be impacting the Great Lakes region throughout the day today. Then tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow is the day that we see this move into the northeast and dump snow. So we do have a few updates to the models. We're going to be going through each one of them today, as well as my updated forecast at the end, so stick around for that. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Now let's move on here to the National Weather Service page. So, right now, we have seen that influx of winter storm warnings. We have winter storm warnings from Iowa to Ohio, as well as winter storm warnings from North Carolina to New Jersey. We do have winter storm watches in parts of Pennsylvania, New York, southern New England, even into parts of northern New England. Those I fully expect to turn into winter storm warnings here throughout the day today. Now, let's move on here to the NAM. So, here's the NAM. We have a pretty important update here. So, the NAM, everything in the plains goes fine. Everything's about the same. This low pressure weakens, dies off. Now, this low pressure is further south, but it quickly jumps up to the north here, strengthens a little bit. Now, that extra time to strengthen actually makes this a lot more heavy snowfall. It makes this storm so that there's a lot more heavy snowfall in southern New England, as well as in New York City metro area. This is huge in terms of how much snowfall we can get. This means that some areas of southern New England and New York could see 2 feet of snow in local areas. We thought that we would see 22 inches of snow, maybe in some spots of New Jersey, parts of Pennsylvania. Now it looks like New York City itself is at the center of this storm and is going to be the epicenter of all the snowfall. That's huge. So, as we can see here, this low pressure stays right in this little nook between New Jersey and Long Island. That continues to just pile up the snow in parts of New York, southern Connecticut, parts of northern New Jersey, and then eventually this storm moves over to the east a little bit, kind of has like a second life over here for parts of southern New England and the Boston area before it moves off, and it kind of even forms its own like minor storm after that in Maine. Now, updated snow totals for the NAM model. European also has an update. We'll talk about that later. Look at that. Potentially 24 to 25 inches of snow. This is right over New York City. Let's actually go. I'm going to show this to you because I was impressed when I saw this. Right over New York City, 26 inches of snow. Now, do I think that's going to happen? No. I think that this will be slightly less than that, but the NAM is picking up on this. This means that there is going to be severe impacts, especially for the beginning of your workday on Tuesday. I'm at a loss for words on how surprising this is. We have seen the epicenter of many storms go so far to the interior. This one is right over New York City. That is crazy, but I do not want to say that is crazy anymore. So let's move on to the GFS. The GFS has kind of modified its ways a little bit. It has more heavy snowfall in southern New England. It really isn't, cutting them out of the picture anymore. And it's kind of getting closer to the NAM. We usually see an abrupt change in the models when the NAM comes out. This time it's a little slower. I think that some of these more, long-range models are kind of... Which one did I click? Good. Okay. Some of these models are kind of reluctant to go toward the NAM, but we also see that the GFS puts this epicenter a little bit further inland. Southern New York, parts of New Jersey, northeast Pennsylvania. But generally, the GFS has overall more snowfall with a 12 to 24 inch range from West Virginia up to Connecticut and Massachusetts. So there's kind of a balancing there. The NAM has more snow in one spot. GFS is more snow overall. So here's the European. This one is the most accurate global model. This is the second most accurate today behind the NAM. The GFS has this a little bit to the north. The European model has this a little bit further to the south, this heavy snow band. That's going to make an impact. It also makes an impact that some of these areas along the coast, including New York, including southern Connecticut, including New Jersey, Delaware, switch over to rain according to the European model, as well as Boston staying in the mix, or mixed precipitation, for a decent amount there too. So, what's the effects of this on the total snowfall? It makes it so that we have a little bit less snowfall, and that epicenter is from Pennsylvania out onto Long Island. But overall, highest snow totals may be 17, 18, according to the European model, not 25, 26 inches. So, that would make a big difference. And the fact that we don't have 3 coordinated models makes this forecast very tricky. So, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I definitely want to hear your take on that. Do you think that the NAM is right? Do you think that the GFS is right? Or do you think that the European model is right? Or do you think that I'm right? Let's go to my predictions. So here are the updated version of my predictions. So, less than 3 inches from Minnesota through into, of course, the Northeast. Then there's a sharp cutoff in New York with 3 to 6 inches. I think that the lake portion of New York is really not going to see much. But anywhere that's just inland from that, the way that this storm is going to pivot, you're going to be under the snowfall for a much longer period of time, which would leave you in that 3 to 6 inch range. But of course, locally lower amounts are possible. Now, anywhere else with the 3 to 6 is kind of just borderline around the 6 to 12. There's some areas that might switch over to a little bit more rain, or have already gotten some snow, or maybe in terms of this area over here, might just see a little bit of that snow kind of push inland, and you would be like right on the mix line, maybe like a little bit of rain and snow, a bit of freezing rain getting in the way for up here. There's just multiple factors that kind of keep these areas out of the 6 to 12. 6 to 12 is most abundant here from Maine back into Iowa. This is basically the areas that are going to be seeing heavy snowfall from the storm for a specific period of time, and you're basically in the heart of the storm, just not in the very heaviest areas. Now, 12 to 24 inches, these 3 spots have shifted a little bit. I have one in Indiana, one stretching from West Virginia up into Pennsylvania, and then one, instead of from Philly to Boston, we have the New York Metro up to near Portland. So those are my predictions. Do you agree with them? Put that in the comment section down below if you agree with those over some of the other models. But that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.